Today I'm going to share a person whose name you may heard dozens of times in the past decades. Could anyone tell him by the shadow?
Da Vinci.
Yes. He's Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo is not only outstanding in art but also had great contribution in medical science, architecture, mechanic field, math, and so on. But before we start talking about him, we need to know the background of his period first. In the 14th centuries, Black Death broke out in Europe and caused 75 million to 200 million Europeans dead, nearly 30 to 60% of the population. According to the research, it was caused by the bubonic plague, which may bring by the Mongolia troops from East Asia. Every day, countless troops were accumulated on the road. The whole Europe was shrouded by the emotion of fear, anxious, and desire. Until 1353, the transmission of the plague finally retarded, and the whole society had been through an ideological tendency of focusing people who are alive instead of the afterlife. And that's the major positive influence this pandemic brings to human. Florence and Venice, where were the business and populations concentrated city that had gathered multinational knowledge, cultures, literatures, and philosophy, from countries like Greece and Alps. Many elites from different fields collided and created their ideas with each other. And in this period, people's ideology had an evolution from promoting religion to upholding humanism. Famous artwork like the Birth of Venus from Sandra Botticelli, Mona Lisa, and the Lady with an Earring from Leonardo da Vinci, the School of Athens from Raphael, the Pitti and the Sistine Chapel from Michelangelo. People named this period Renaissance, which emerged many superb artists and theories, sculptors. In this period, there were three marvelous artists which were named three masters of Renaissance. They were Leonardo da Vinci, Raphael, and Michelangelo. Three of them were all from Italy and had dedicated a plenty of masterpieces for us to admire. So now let's go back to Leonardo, retrospected his lifetime. Leonardo was born on April 15, 1425, 3 hours after the sunset, and in Vinci City. Leonardo's whole name was Leonardo di Ser Piero da Vinci, which means son Ser Piero's son Leonardo from Vinci City. And Leonardo's mom was a farmer, and in 15th centuries, farmers were in a lower class. However, her dad, Sir Piero da Vinci, was a Florentine legal notary. The huge gap between them made them separate after having Leonardo. In 1457, Leonardo started living with his dad for better living quality. One day, a local farmer made a shield and pleased Leonardo's dad. to draw something on it, and Leonardo drew a vivid monster spitting fire instead. The show eventually went to the Florentine Art Intermediate by Sir Piero. And since then, Leonardo has been showing off his talent of the art. Piero made his son to apprentice to Andelio del Verrocchio, who was known by the baptism of Christ. And it is said that Leonardo also participates in this art. So could you tell which character was drawn by Leonardo? The angel on the left, the angel on the right, Jesus, or the priest? No? Okay. The answer is angel on the left. If you can tell it, that's fine, because I can't either. From 1482 to 1498, Leonardo has his own studio in Milan. In 1498, France was back to the domination of Louis XII, and Milan surrendered without fighting. Leonardo still stayed a while in Milan until one day's morning he discovered his horse model was shot arrows by the French archers. So he decided to pack up his luggage and return to Florence in 1500. In 1519, Leonardo passed away at the age of 67, ended his legend life. His remains was buried under the chapel of Saint Hubert in France. So if you travel there one day, you must take a look at this well-known artist. Leonardo has created 150 portions of manuscripts, and the manuscripts Leonardo was a left-hander. His notes was written from right to left, so if you want to read it, you need to use a mirror and read the reflection from it. Though Leonardo created many famous artwork like Mona Lisa, he only complete 20 paintings due to his perfectionism personality. According to Wikipedia, he was considered as an excellent scientist, theorist, sculptor, architect, and engineer. Now let's talk about one of the most famous artworks by Leonardo, The Last Supper in 1498. Leonardo used egg tempera to draw the artwork so it molded quickly. It is talk about the Last Supper Jesus had with his 12 opponents. In the middle of the supper, Jesus said, "Truly I say to you, one of you will betray me." Everyone looked at Jesus alarmedly, discussed who was the person who betrayed Jesus. Judas, who betrayed Jesus for 30 silver coins. When he heard Jesus pointed out that someone betrayed him, his left hand stopped in the air and his right hand grabbed his money bag tightly. In 1499, King Louis invaded Milan. and he was tempted to cut the paintings from the wall and take it home. And due to the humidity, it was considered the paintings was totally ruined in the middle of the 16th century. In 1796, when French came back again, they used Morrow as a place to take out their anti-clerical feelings, like gouching out apostles' eyes. In August 15, 1943, the Allied boomed the church. The church was separated into many debris, but however, the Last Supper is still safe. So it's miraculous for us to see this painting, since it had been through the wars, humidity, and centuries of environment damage. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you.